Thank you for joining us. I'm Adam Cooperstein. It is awfully quiet tonight after marches for racial justice filled the streets today and the previous 10 nights. But there's this tense calm settling over the city hours before we begin to reopen from coronavirus. Chopper 4 only found a few protesters in the streets near Barclays Center tonight, and we looked all over the city. In fact, there were more police officers than protesters at this location. But tonight, the city faces a new test. For the first time in nearly a week, there is no curfew in effect. The mayor lifted it early today, one day before it was supposed to expire. So all eyes now turn to whether the streets remain peaceful tonight. We have everything covered for you, including the changes that could be coming to the NYPD. And first, News 4's Ray Villeda live in East Williamsburg in Brooklyn. So, Ray, the curfew's gone. Still extremely quiet out there tonight.
Yeah, Adam, McCarran Park here, relatively quiet. So are the streets of the city. It was a different picture hours ago when thousands took to the streets. They started marching through Williamsburg, through Greenpoint. Their message, united and cohesive.
From McCarran Park, they marched by the hundreds, their signs carrying their message. A change is going to come. Black Lives Matter. They marched from Greenpoint through Williamsburg, police driving behind them. The crowd's peaceful. Thousands of protesters taking to the Brooklyn streets. Some gathered at Grand Army Plaza by Prospect Park.
My daughter's out here with me. She had to see what's going on, so she knows that things will be changed. I want things to change for her, so she doesn't have to experience the things that I had to experience.
This father, who only wanted to go by the name Marlon, among them, wanting a better tomorrow.
This time, it feels different. This doesn't just feel like the regular, you go outside, you protest for a day, you come home and no change. This feels different. People are taking notice.
Among those taking notice, his two daughters, 9 and 8 years old.
I think that they're protesting for the right thing, that Black lives do matter.
Remembering history and helping to create the future.
And Martin Luther King even taught this to us, that Black lives matter and that we shouldn't be treated differently from white people.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Now, while that 8 o'clock curfew was lifted, we actually noticed most protesters pretty much dispersed right around 8 o'clock, not just here in Brooklyn, but throughout the city. We're live in Williamsburg tonight. I'm Ray Villeda, News 4 New York.
Okay, interesting. We'll keep an eye on it, Ray. Thank you. And, you know, the protests are getting results. Today, Mayor de Blasio proposing several reforms to the NYPD, and that includes budget cuts. News 4's Adam Harding live for us in Union Square, breaking down what these changes mean. And, Adam, I know you spent part of the night talking to protesters about this. What do they think of the reforms?
As local leaders look to end fervent speculation inside City Hall, the mayor's Sunday promising big changes are coming to the NYPD in the wake of recent protests.
I made the decision to end the curfew.
The mayor outlining 4 key steps: diverting funds from the police department to youth and social services, reforming 50A, which blocks access to officers' personnel records for better transparency, removing vendor enforcement, and bringing community voices into the highest levels of the NYPD.
The mayor's 4 proposals that he announced today are just, it's just for show.
But critics aren't buying this sudden shift in policies.
Mayor de Blasio is going to try and give us crumbs so that he can quell down the people.
Carlos Polanco is among the thousands of protesters out yet again this weekend, demanding change.
We have walked over 70, 80, 90 New York City blocks today.
From Midtown to Brooklyn, the calls for police reform are growing. Commissioner Shea late Sunday hoping to bridge the divide.
One of the things that we have to do better in law enforcement, not just here in New York City, but across the country, is building trust with the community.
But the continued chants from those marching in the streets are only getting louder.
This is our movement, and until the entire budget of the New York Police Department is defunded and that money is returned to our communities, we will keep showing out.
And tonight there are still so many questions, Adam, about what comes next. You hear about diverting funds from the New York Police Department into various different programs. The question is, what is the dollar figure? What is the percentage? The mayor tonight saying those details should be worked out, we expect, in the next few weeks. But of course, protesters tonight say until more is done, they will continue to spread their message by taking to the streets. We're live tonight in Union Square. I'm Adam Harding, News 4 New York.